So today we're going to see how, and very practical, we need to move forward into a Web3 environment and a Web3 era that we are moving forward every day, because technology is going exponentially. And of course, we have in mind all these technologies that starting from Web 1.0, it was just a website, or the internet as we know it, really slow and practical and read-only. We started from 1994 having just a website, or having just a page that is just this. And we moved forward to Web 2.0 era, something like we're having social media and different approaches of a more collaborative approach, like an approach of I'm working with a social network, and I post content and I create there, like in 2004 until 2024, we have this approach of the people creation, and people are starting to create content and to having this new approach. Back then it was new, now it's a very old thing, but imagine that we had like this new approach, and all these approaches become really fast obsolete. Why? Because we had the concept of centralization, like this centralization part became the hurdle of the whole Web 2 era. So imagine right now, give me just to share is it possible to give me access to share? Okay, thank you. So we have this share. Can you see my screen? Yes, super. So imagine that we have in Web 1.0, we have this read-only concept. I don't know, and I don't want to ask how many of you had a Netscape or an MSN Messenger, but if you're feeling old enough, you can use your screen to say that I was there. Then in the Web 2.0 era, we had the whole concept of social media and social creation, and all the creation and what we said, creator economy. But this created gatekeepers. So imagine you have a YouTube video, but the YouTube video, you don't own the actual platform, you just own the content. So if YouTube decide to delete your video or downgrade your video, it can do it. So it's a huge opportunity, and created the whole thing of influencers and the whole thing of creators economy, and a lot of people felt that this is a democratization of the internet, but this created huge gatekeepers like Google, Amazon, Meta, and all the big guys that we know right now. They are the gatekeepers of this economy. So in the new economy, in the Web 3.0 economy, we start from there, from the gatekeepers. So imagine you own the content, you own the distribution network, you own the followers and the fans and the whole thing, and you can have some kind of interoperability. To be more simple, you can own the whole thing and go wherever you want. Now, if you invest hours and multiple euros, multiple millions of euros to build a great empire on YouTube or on Instagram or even on a private application, you have a gatekeeper. And you have a gatekeeper, it will be Apple, that it will going to take like 25% of its transaction. It will be Google, whatever, you have a gatekeeper. In a decentralized web, in the web that we are moving really, really fast, will be no gatekeepers. No gatekeepers because the decentralization and the blockchain part of the story helps us for this. So I don't know if you can tell one or two of these logos. Hopefully you can see Bitcoin and Ethereum there, and other logos that are cryptocurrencies, but the infrastructure like the IPFS, SIA, browsers like Brave and stuff like that, this infrastructure is the enabler, is there right now. It's not, we are not going to make this infrastructure, is there right now to create a new economy. So what we want in this session, this brief session, is for you to understand that your economy, the cultural tourism economy, can exploit these new technologies to create a new kind of value. And this kind of value, it will be owned, it will be registered, it will be delivered through decentralized networks. We're going to speak about the metaverse and how we have different options in the metaverse in order to create this value. But first, we need to understand that from 1994 to 2004, we had this Web 1.0 era. We went to Web 2.0, that we have a participatory but centralized economy. And now we have the Web 3 era that has no intermediaries. There is no reason for you to have someone between you and your audience, because all these cultural experiences, they are good in one thing first, to build audiences, to build a strong sense of community. Why? Because they are based in the human element. These are all communities really rooted in our human nature. So what we are going to understand is that with the Web3 tools, we can enable these communities, these core structures, to move forward and understand even better our community, to empower our people, because with this decentralized concept, you can give power to your people by using tokens, by using decentralized autonomous organizations. And one more thing that I want to share is, like, give me just 1 second, okay? That right now, the concept of blockchain is not just another technology. Blockchain is a general purpose technology. It's like the steam engine, it's like electricity, it's like AI, it's a general purpose technology. So with the blockchain, in the beginning, there was a misunderstanding. What was the misunderstanding? The misunderstanding was that we have like blockchain, and blockchain is like another technology. But if you see, I will give you a very small example. If you see the internet, we have like the internet, and we say, okay, the internet is another communication concept. So we thought that we are going to have TV, radio, we're going to have like the newspapers and the internet. And it's going to be one more communication tool. A real life example, the internet created TV, created newspapers, created radio, created all the communications. The same thing is going to happen with the blockchain. So blockchain in the beginning, it was okay, another monetary way to create value. So we said we are going to create coins, and we have like Bitcoin and all the other shit coins and whatever. The real life example is that Bitcoin created a concept of a new economy. So new coins, new ways of validation, new ways of identity, create a new ways of assets. We have decentralized assets, we have real world assets on the blockchain, energy asset in the blockchain. So a new way of assets, and then create a new way of validating art. We have NFTs, non-fungible tokens. We have different ways of validating these NFTs. We have communities, new communities, decentralized autonomous organizations. So new ways of wealth and new ways of community. And with this analogy in mind, that on one hand, we have the internet that changed all the things around communication as we know it. Blockchain will change all the things around assets, around financial assets, around cultural assets, around tangible assets, real world assets. Everything that can bring some kind of value can be created, and we can keep this kind of value on the blockchain, which is a great thing to move forward as regards the actual value in Web3. So in order to understand the concept of Web3, we need to understand how blockchain, for example, works, and why this is a revolution, and why this is something really, really new in terms of an approach. Because I hear a lot of people working inside the cultural sector saying that we are a small business doing we are a dance school, we are a small museum, we are an NGO about heritage. We are very small to go in this Web3 thing, and this Web3 thing is too big for us and we cannot understand it. The reason behind this fear is that there is misunderstanding. Web3, the metaverse, the whole concept of virtual worlds, the whole concept of virtual assets is there first for the small companies and for small, really liquid formations like an NGO or a very small cultural tourism. Because if you go, the bigger the organization, the more difficult it is to understand these new technologies, because these new technologies have a lot of community driven things embedded in their DNA. So one thing that I can say about all these cultural sector organizations is that there is no better timing to go and learn and understand about blockchain and Web3 technologies than we are speaking right now. Why? Because we have on one side AI, and AI created and lower the barrier to understand all these new technologies. It's super easy to go to an LLM right now, ChatGPT, Claude, whatever, and write how I can create an NFT and give me step-by-step instructions. It will give you step-by-step instructions, and it's super, super easy to move forward and do it in like 1 hour. You will understand how to create an NFT. It's easy to go and say, I want to build a virtual world and I want you to give me all the updates about a virtual world. How I can create a virtual world? You have like 5 steps on how to create a virtual world. So now the timing as regards the Web3 part is so obvious that everyone must understand that the time is now and there is a huge impact as regards the metaverse and all these new technologies around the metaverse. And of course, we have all these evidence, let's say, as regards use cases. I will share some of the use cases in a drive. Effie, I think that we have a drive with the use cases and we can give a link as regards how to create all these metaverse experiences inside an actual experience as regards tourism, as regards even fashion, even influencers. Because imagine that in order to create, let's say you want to create an avatar. Okay, let's take the avatar example. If you want to create an avatar, 5 years ago, it will be impossible. You want a 3D designer, someone that understands animation. You want someone that understands how to create an agent and all that stuff. Really, really fragmented stuff. And right now you can go and create an avatar just with one click. Why? Because the technology is there and the technology is democratized. So if we are speaking about metaverse and the components of the metaverse, give me just 1 second to open it, to open an example that I have about the components. Documents, here it is. So, okay. Can you see my screen? If it's okay, super. So imagine as regards the components of the metaverse, we have the real world. So let's start with the real world because we can understand the real world. We have the real world. We have a virtual mirror of the real world, but also something that can connect to reality. We have all the virtual native worlds. So imagine you are inside Roblox. There is no physical real world there. Roblox is a virtual world that is native, is there. You have Fortnite, you have another virtual world, and you have the convergence, and here is where the magic happens. You have the convergence between the virtual world and the real world. So you don't need to be in one of them. You are physically where you are, but with the metaverse, we have in mind that the metaverse is something like a fad that AI replace it. No, the metaverse is where the virtual worlds even are native or something that simulates reality converge with the real world. You can have a virtual classroom that is designed as a great nice island that never existed. You can have a classroom that is a 360 representation of your actual classroom. So the convergence of these two worlds is only by time or people. So imagine that you can have a metaverse that is a virtual world that you can help classrooms with an AI inside the metaverse in every time. So someone log in, meet a personalized avatar that is a tutor, and I can learn you how to dance. I say an example, a random example, because I see my friend George here. So you can have this. You can have also a real world representation. So imagine your actual classroom that everyone can join, and with a pair of headsets or a mobile phone or a laptop can see the classroom and change different point of views inside the space and live the experience in real time. So when you are thinking about the metaverse and all the Web3 experiences, you need to have in mind these 4 different meanings. So the real world, the actual world, virtual worlds that are like mirrors, virtual native, and the convergence. These are the 4 steps of the whole thing. And if you are using these 4 steps to understand the world, it can give you a starting point to start thinking of, okay, what I can do next, what I can do with these technologies. I know that because I was late in the call, I started really, really fast, and I didn't give you not even 1 second to breathe. So do you have any questions? Here, the space is open. We can, every question is a good question. We don't judge, and we don't see the questions from an academic perspective. So if you have any question about, even practical ones, about how to go to Web3 and how to understand this type of technologies and what I can do next to create value with this technology, now is the time to ask. Yes. George, you can open your mic.
Hello, Dimitris. So my question is, when do you think all the people will be in Web3? In how many years, or not months?
From my perspective, the actual mass is there. So if you want to do something in the metaverse right now, there is an audience that is there and is working, and you can do it right now. There is no barrier about the language. There is no barrier about the space. Now there is no barrier even for the cost, because if we had this discussion like 10 years before, I will say, okay, it's okay, but the metaverse is not there yet in terms of technology. So from my perspective, you can do it tomorrow. And when I'm saying tomorrow, I mean tomorrow, because there are a lot of new, let's say, technologies that can help you to create an actual metaverse out there. So how you can start? You start from your use case and say, what I have an NGO, I have a museum, I have a heritage school, whatever. And you can see where you put and where you produce the value. Right now, the value is produced in the lessons, for example, or the value is produced by our content. The value is produced by our whatever. And you get that, and you try to understand how you put it in a metaverse as similar as possible with the physical. So you're doing dance lessons physical. How you can put it in a metaverse? The same way that you put it in a physical. In the beginning, it will be super awkward and raw and say, okay, what I'm doing right now, I see an avatar dancing, and how this is a case for us. But imagine that someone in 1 year, it will be really easy to go and meet an avatar and learn to dance by an avatar. And this can be a step that you can get your independence because you need physical presence to teach, a step to open to different audiences because, okay, I want to learn how to dance, but I don't like your face. I want a female teacher. So I can select a female teacher, or I don't want either a female or either a male teacher, and I want the face of Kasparov or the face of Messi to teach me how to dance. And I can select my avatar to be like Messi, and I can discuss with Messi. So think now what you have in the physical, and go with these 4 scenarios. We can
Okay,
create a
so
mirror.
you need the right equipment to record all of this or to
This
join this.
concept of the equipment right now is not even a case because you don't need equipment. Why?
How are
There
you
is
gonna record?
there are a lot of AI out there that can create the digital space. So imagine, for example, you have the digital space, or you can create the digital space from scratch, something that is in the second example that I gave you, that I said that there is a virtual space that is not real world, is native virtual, a space that doesn't exist. It's a virtual space. So there are virtual spaces for even €0. Why? Because in order to dance, you just need a floor. You don't need something fancy out there. So there are no tools that you need. Even tools for the capture. Imagine that in the beginning, you can start by being you physically there in order to understand the whole case, and then teach an AI to teach.
So wait, you don't need something equipment to record yourself. You can do it just by a camera.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so I have some courses. Can I upload it to a cloud and the AI learns and teaches how to dance?
Yes, and this is even more accessible than ever. Imagine that if we had this discussion 2 years before, I would say yes, but you need like €20,000 to train the model. Now you need like €600 to train the model, and not even 600 to train the actual model because you have the lesson, you have the content. And when you put it in a decentralized way into the blockchain, you are even better in a better position to do it because you can monetize it also. You create the space, and in order to get a ticket, instead of a ticket, you get an NFT because these spaces are native spaces, blockchain native spaces. Any other questions so far? Thank you, George. And if you have a second question, because I'm not sure if I didn't burn you with all that, but if you have any other questions, I'm here to discuss. Other questions? No, nothing. So shall I continue? Oh, we have
Konstantinos has a question.
Konstantinos.
Hello.
Hello.
I wanted to ask, at the Web2, we have the gatekeepers, which we used to go to our audience. I'm a volunteer at a costume museum, a very small museum at Castoria. At the Web3, where are we going to meet our audience?
The difference there is that you are not going to meet an audience that is ready from a gatekeeper, because you say, okay, I will go to YouTube and YouTube will show my viral video, for example, and I will bring the audience. This is an old school case. You have a community right now, you have like 10 people, 20, 30, that they are the community that appreciates what you have in your museum. And there is another community that is bigger, that are all the people that they want to come, and they are abroad, for example. They are in the US, they are in Australia. So if you create a virtual representation of the museum, or a 3D asset of the costumes, there are a lot of people that they want to try. There are a lot of people that they want to even own a virtual one. There are a lot of people that they will pay a very significant amount, even a ticket, to visit this virtual thing. So the barrier to create a virtual museum is now down to having just an iPhone. For example, in the iPhone, there is a black dot here that is the LiDAR scanner. The LiDAR scanner can give you 3D representations of every subject, of every object. If you take that and you feed this 3D object to an AI, you can have a model, a 3D model. And if you take this 3D model and feed it to another AI, like there is Rogue, there is Adobe Firefly, you can have an actual animated model that you can do whatever you want. And you can feed them in a virtual space. If you go right now to Spatial, I don't know if you know Spatial, I will share it. If you go to Spatial and create spatial.io, if you go to Spatial and share it a virtual world, you can super easily create a museum with 3 clicks. And when I say with 3 clicks, and it's so easy that I'm going to answer George's question, and we are going to do it together. George, I'm here.
So actually, you don't even need a museum. You just have to record them once.
Yes.
And you don't even need to have a physical museum, right?
Exactly. You don't need a physical museum. Imagine that. Let me give you.
So everyone can have a museum if he can have items.
Exactly. And because the space now is under development, it's even a bigger problem for the actual owner. Because if Konstantinos has like a costume, he has the physical costume in order to digitize it. So he owns the costume, and he can own also the digital representation of the costume. So I am right now in Spatial. I don't know if you can see it. You can see it?
Yeah.
Super. Let me give you a quick example. I will log in right now in order to see how easy it is with Spatial to create a new space, a new 3D space. I will give you the URL afterwards. Back then, you say a new space, and you don't need to create a blank space or to create a space with Unity. These are tools, okay? Of course, if you are a 3D designer and if you know how to do it, you go and create a space in Unity or a blank space. But let's say we want a gallery, okay? And we are going to use a ready-made gallery from here. I will use this gallery. I will create this gallery, and Spatial is creating the space right now. Okay, and we have a gallery. Okay, you see that now I am here inside the newly created gallery. This is my avatar, okay? We created in the other lessons of our program. So you have ready-made stuff that you can upload different pictures. I uploaded one. I upload one of our program, okay? And this is a virtual gallery. If you have your 3D asset here, okay, and you want to add content as a 3D asset, you can go to Sketchfab, for example, and what you want? We want like Cretan something. I don't know. I will find something Cretan. Do you like this vase, George? Do you like this Cretan? It's and I have this Cretan, and I'm going to import inside my space. It's not as gorgeous as George, but it's gonna do the job. This is a 3D element that is open publicly on Sketchfab, and I can add it in whatever space I can create. Okay, and if I want, like, on this space to add like furniture, I can add like an armchair, or I can add a wave couch. Okay, and this is the wave couch. I will put it here, like here, and because the Cretan it's not working, I will replace the model. So uploads, give me just 1 second. Okay, add Sketchfab, Cretan. Let's go with this Pithari. It's better. Okay, here is the Pithari. So we have, like, in real time created like a museum in 1 second. I put a Cretan Pithari inside the space and the couch. Okay, it's irrelevant, but in order for me to see how fast you can create a space with free tools. Okay, and if you go there and say, okay, let's create from the host tools this space and set a token gate access and create an NFT that everyone only with this token, if they buy your ticket, your NFT, can visit the space. Okay, or you are like generous and you want to do this space and make it like super free and share the space and make it free. You can go on settings and make it free. Okay, you can say that this space is free and I can share the space in everyone. Okay, so I don't want like anyone with a link can access this space, is public. I will copy the link and I can give you, stop here, and I can give you the link and you can visit my space that I created like in 2 minutes. Okay, I see a question.
There's a question in the chat.
Yes.
Please.
Thank you, Dimitris, for your presentation. What about the challenge of virtual field versus physical field that VR training on other virtual experiences are taking off because a bit off slowly because the real thing seems to beat the online offering? My personal point of view there is twofold. One is better optics. Second is better haptics. So right now we have Oculus Quest 3 is amazing. It's working really well and it's cost only 500 euros. And the second is the optics that we have in the new devices like Vive, like the Apple Vision Pro and the Apple Vision, the light version that they are going to sell, because Apple Vision, it was the lamest thing ever, but it was a step towards virtual reality. So we have Apple Vision, the Air Edition, I don't know how they will call it. We have the haptics, and the new thing is that because of AI, we can calculate and interact with our hands in a virtual world. So we don't need any joysticks, we don't need any hardware. So the faster the AI grows, and it grows fast, the faster the AI grows, the better, because we are going to have like immersive experiences and we are going to trigger our brains with this thing. Okay, so imagine that all we need is a technology with haptic environment, something that we can feel, and the technology that we can walk in a confined space, because we need to walk physically but not move. And there are technologies that they are not development, they are actual products. Okay, imagine all Disney parks, they have this magic, they call it magic carpet because they like the whole magic thing, that you can walk omnidirectional everywhere, but you will be in the same space. Why? Because not to bump your head in the doors and in the walls wearing a mask. Of course, there are mixed reality concepts that you can have the vase or the costume or the actual lesson inside your space, and you can see the steps in your own room because it's a mixed reality. George,
So, two questions.
hopefully, Costas, I covered you. Sorry, George, tell me.
First of all, I think we need an interior designer to help us with the museum. Second,
You say something about my taste in interior design. You
yes,
didn't like the Pithari with the couch together. Why?
it was a good try. Okay. So you can just add an item, whatever item it is, just by having not a photo but a video, right?
A video or a 3D scanning of the actual item, because you can do it with your phone and you can have a file, an object file, 3D created by AI and an iPhone.
You have to scan it around, right?
Yes, around.
Okay, so can someone copy our items if he can
Yes,
record the
he
360?
cannot copy the 3D item. He cannot steal the 3D item because you own the physical thing.
Okay.
But of course, he can try to steal it and he can try to replicate the whole thing.
He can make for example, a Kurites Museum 2.
Yes, not
Free,
by,
but here with a fee.
yes.
This is gonna work.
The problem is with this all IP is yours, and the good thing is that you are in Europe. You are protected by AI Act, that whatever you create with your own IP, you own the whole thing. So this is good news from copyright perspective. This is not a legal requirement in the US. So if someone from the US wants to steal your museum, let's say, and has a company in the US, you can sue him and you can win the battle in Europe. But for now, in the US and in China, you are almost unprotected. The good thing is that all the concept of regulation is going really, really fast. So if you
It's gonna
own
be global. Do you think it's gonna
global,
be global?
yes, yes,
So, for
because
example, if I have the item and someone tries to
to copy,
scan it and put it, he will not be able to do that because he will see a message that this is
still it's going to be protected, but in new ways of technology, because
yeah.
the old ways of technology, they're not working. For example, if this is an NFT, okay, has a has a very unique code. Okay, I will give you an example. We have an NFT that is a monkey. Okay, and this monkey right now is actually worth like 1 million. Okay, because we see NFTs that they are a monkey and they worth 1 million. You can go and screenshot a monkey and put it in your profile. You can go and screenshot the monkey and
Yes.
put it in your Twitter account. Okay.
Okay.
Everyone knows that you are a fake and you don't own the actual monkey, because the actual monkey comes with the NFT, the non-fungible token, that certifies that is in your wallet.
Okay. So if I want tomorrow, I can go to Acropolis Museum, scan all the items, make a museum, make a fee 2 euros or something, and they will not be able to, or maybe they will be
They
able to
will, because
come after me.
right now in Greece, for example, there is a provision in the AI Act that says all the fabricated stuff that is around cultural tourism or around heritage or around what we call Greece's legacy is protected by the laws, blah, 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 blah.
Yes, but how are they gonna know if I'm going if
When
I'm to be the first that scan?
if
You
you
you're
start
coming in in days,
if you
and you
start
scan
making
my
money,
items.
yes, but if you start making money, uh,
Okay.
we will
So,
understand. Yeah. If you want to scan the Acropolis and to see it alone, I think that it's okay. Is the same that by going and taking picture of the Acropolis and see it in your bathroom. It's okay. If you go and take a photograph of the Acropolis and print it in a huge format and put it in your, let's say, in your balcony, no one will tell anything. Okay, because it's a public heritage thing. But if you start making money out of this virtual thing, there is a problem, and there are laws for that.
okay.
Other questions around the whole thing of Web3 and how to break the barriers to entry?
I think that they are covered.
Okay, super. So
It was really nice.
this was a
Thank
really,
you.
really super fast crash course of the whole thing. Of course, we have the recordings and all the material of our program that is open out there. You are now, because you are here, you are now part of the program and you have access to all the materials and all the trainings that we will do. And I don't know if we have the dates for the other trainings also.
So thank you, Dimitris. Just a quick reminder, the next one is on the 29th of May. It concerns entrepreneurship and the professional development training. And then on the 3rd of June, again with Mr. Dimitriadis, we're going to go through metaverse and blockchain. You will get the invitations. You will get the reminder emails for those also. And if you're available, we would love to see you back. So thank you all for being here today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dimitris, and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Yes.